Hey y'all, I'm not even 100%. Okay, I guess I am recording. Um, welcome. Happy Sunday. Welcome to another episode of the Let's Talk About Life Pack podcast. Y'all got to bear with me. I'm trying to just use the computer. See, I can't even get my thoughts together. I'm just trying to use my camera on my computer I'm recording instead of going through the site that I normally go through simply because of the buffering and stuff like that. I do think the camera looks a little bit different, or maybe I'm just looking different, looking crazy because the lady did my eyebrows weird. So now I feel like I'm like that. Anyway, I know I always say it and I don't always stick to it, but I'm pretty certain I'm not gonna be before you long today. Um First, let me point out the fact that yes, my background still looks the same. I moved the little disinfectant wipes off of my bookshelf, but she still ain't put no books up there, and I ain't put the books up there either. But the little shelf is gone, so it's we still working. I should be putting together some end tables, that I just got from the Good Roses yesterday. That's actually going to take more putting together than I thought, but we're gonna make it do what it do. Anyway, I wanted to piggyback off of what my pastor talked about in church today. His message was called "We're Gonna Be All Right." And I mean, church has been amazing. I always say that. I came home. Hold on. Whew, I came home tired as usual. But a good tired. Like I said, I'm always tired and full. Um, when I leave from church, just getting the word, praise and worship was good. Um, we had a song that was, a little bit of a challenge, but we made it through. I'm always glad when we get to that last song, especially if it's been any kind of challenge. But yeah, anyway, like I said, because I ain't gonna be before you long. Um, First off, I'm gonna say, and this isn't um related to the pastor's topic, but it just fell into my spirit. Whatever it is that you sign up to do, whether you feel you're called to do it, whether you're just volunteering your time, whatever, go ahead and give it your all. Okay? Something that I've seen, and I'm not saying that I've never been guilty of it, but um sometimes we can be involved in things, and when it's time to show up and show out, all we doing is a whole bunch of complaining. We didn't, you know what I'm saying? We forget to eat, and now we got a headache, and now we can't perform the way we need to. Um, we say that we're gonna be available to do something at a certain time, and we show up 30 and 45 minutes late every time. Y'all, look, if you want to say that you're gonna do something, do it and execute it with excellence. Cause to be quite honest, right? Don't nobody care what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? If it's that bad, stay at home. You know what I'm saying? If your allergies that bad, take the allergy medicine. If the allergy medicine ain't working, stay at home. Yeah. If you know you ain't eat before whatever it is that you need to do and you're gonna have a headache, then you need to eat something quickly. You need to have a protein shake on deck or something to get you through. Or again, stay at home. Um, if you know you're supposed to be somewhere between 4 and 6 o'clock and you show up at 4:30 and 4:45 every time, for real, just go ahead and stay at home. And those are just a couple little examples. Or like I said, if you're gonna show up, you're gonna be the first one there, but then you're gonna complain about how long we gotta be there all together to do whatever it is we need to do. Stay at home. Um, if you're not going to specifically complain about what time you got to leave, but you just know deep down in your soul that you are a complainer, girl, don't nobody want to hear it. Just stay at home. I say that because in any kind of a project, right? Let's say it takes 6 people, or you think it takes 6 people to do a project, or 2 people, however many people have either obligated themselves to do it or have said, this is what we're going to do. Most people would rather come into a situation knowing, okay, boom, so and so, so and so, and so and so didn't make it because they knew they weren't gonna be 100%. So we need to make it do what it do with 2 people. than to have six people and then it's just trash because we're so busy working around the bad energy and the negativity like that. I mean, if we're going to do things, and this is anything, this could be being on the praise team, this could be working in the food pantry, this could be um any group or any project that you're doing in church. I'm speaking towards church because it's Sunday. I just left church, all of the things. But this relates to the project at work that you're doing, right? This relates to the business resource group you join, knowing goodness well you ain't going to none of the meetings, and whatever it's about you really don't care about, so you just wasted everybody's time taking up a spot. This can relate to that project that you started at home, or said you were going to do, the event that you said you were going to go to, the event that you said you was going to participate in setting up, whatever the case might be. Girl, if you're not going to do it or you're not going to execute it with excellence, then go ahead and see your way out, period. And like I said, I'm just saying that, but that can go for anybody. That goes for me. That goes for anybody, right? If you know goodness well that when you thought about going, you said, "Oh, because I ain't trying to be there till." Well, you know what? This might be the day we got to be there till. So you go ahead and you stay at home, and then that way, whoever decides to show up and who is serious about executing in excellence, um, they can go ahead and do just that with who they have, because I don't care how much of an asset anybody can think that they are to any project. Um, like I said, the negative energy, the lack of follow through, the complaining, all of that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay. Now on to what I was actually going to talk about today. Like I said, today Pastor's sermon was called "We're Gonna Be All Right," and there's something that I wanted to touch on based off of what he was talking about, and just kind of something that's been on my mind for the past couple weeks. Not even the past couple weeks, probably about a month or so, but since I have been on the praise team at church, one of the things we have to do is we have to be to church early, right? You have to be to church early because you're serving in the ministry and you got to kind of be in place. Um, you got to kind of be in your place ahead of everybody else. And disclaimer again, I'm going to use church as an example, but this can apply to any walk of life, right? There's a couple things that I have noticed, right? I have noticed that there are some people who, I don't care if the sun is shining, if it's raining outside, if all is well or should be, or whatever the case might be, some people going to be crying and be upset. Okay? It's going to always be something going on. It's going to always be something that they battling. They're going to feel like it's one thing, you know what I'm saying? What's the saying? What is it? What is it? Every time I go through something, I go through something else. Or when it rains, it pours. Whatever the saying is, I can't think of it off the top of my head because it's something that I used to say at one point, and then your girl had to take that out of her vocabulary because what we're not going to do is manifest things to keep happening, right? Things will happen because you know what I'm saying. That's just what it is, and God is going to help us out. But I'm not going to just be around here speaking into existence, right? So, like I said, you have your group of people who are going to always be upset and just going to be down and out. And, oh, you know what I'm saying? Woe is me. Like, when you say, come on, girl, come on, give me a hug. And I say that hopefully I don't sound insensitive because we all be going through, and it is not always easy to not show it. And church is one of those places where, sometimes if you feel like you always holding it together in every other instance, you want to be able to come to church and you just want to be able to let it all out. Another group of people that I see, and this is specific to being on the praise team. We stand up there on the stage, right? And um we look out at the congregation, whoever is there for praise and worship. And I'm gonna be real. uh the energy or the lack thereof that we get as a whole. Like you get up there, hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? And people be like, yeah, I'm all right. Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just like absolute trash. And it's one of those things where it's like, or you even had some people that would be like, yeah, because we got a couple people who, no matter what, you can, I mean, if they're in the back of the church, you can, they're going to throw their hands up, they're going to be smiling, they're going to be doing all of the things, you know what I'm saying? Really, really giving that sunshine. But like I said, it's almost, sometimes it's hard to do what we call to do, especially when part of what we're doing is inviting people into worship. We're trying to pull that energy into the room. We're hoping to get the people up on their feet so that they can praise the Lord and all of that. And like I said, a lot of times I know when I look out there, maybe it's the anxiety that I have battled with over the years. Um, it don't be nothing but rain, clouds, and thunderstorms out there in that daggone congregation a lot of times. And I mean, like I said, it's one of those things like every Sunday, you mean to tell me that every Sunday you are just in the rainstorm? The Lord ain't did nothing for you, right? Um, Before I go on a tangent, my whole purpose is saying that, going back to what the pastor preached about today. I think one of the things that we forget is that we are going to be all right. Okay? God always has an umbrella for that rainstorm. Depending on how big the storm is, whether it's the thunder, whether it's the lightning, whether it's the hail coming from the side, he got the umbrella like this. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, when he got the umbrella like this and the hail and stuff coming from this way, do your feet and stuff get wet? Yeah. Do the bottom of your pants and stuff wet? Yeah. But is your face being pelted by the rain? Absolutely not, because he is being very strategic and like, okay, you got to feel this a little bit, but I'm going to keep pivoted and I'm going to keep holding this umbrella so that you are not getting soaked. I'm also holding it in at a way that this umbrella ain't flipping up in the windstorm. So now the umbrella flying away and you just out here out back, right? So like sometimes I think that we forget, like Pastor was saying, we done been through 72 storms or 78 issues, right? And this particular one got us with our face tight, got us crying uncontrollably, got us down, woe is me, Lord, take me out, I just don't know what to do. You was like that last week, girl. You was like that 2 issues ago. And you made it through said issue. So why would this be any different? And if you feel like it's the same issue over and over again in a new form, maybe it's because you ain't learned the daggone lesson that the Lord is bringing you through each one of them. When do you sit back and say, you know what, Lord, I'm just going to trust you. This ain't the best time, but I'm just going to keep on pushing through. Let me know what I need to do. Like Pastor said, go ahead and let me know what the lesson is so I can go ahead and learn it, because I ain't trying to keep going through this again. I know I got to go through something, but don't let me keep going through this again, right? Um, yeah, very, very, very plain and simple, right? Again, like I said, being on the praise team, looking out there, looking at these cloudy faces, these people who are just never happy, you'll never have no joy. Your joy and all of that should not be tied to what's going on in your life. You should have joy just because you know that the Lord is on your side, the Lord has saved you, and the Lord has died for your sins so that you can be renewed. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the majority of the battle is just fixing this. You know what I'm saying? And I was talking to my niece a few weeks ago, and she was kind of saying, like, I know that sometimes we got to, like, put on the face and just, keep on keeping on. But she was saying, like, sometimes I feel, sometimes I feel like, how long am I going to have to do that? And like, where's the light at the end of the tunnel? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep on pushing, and I'm like, where's the light at the end of the tunnel? And I told her this, and I'm going to tell y'all because I know that it was for somebody else besides her as well. sometimes the light at the end of the tunnel is there. It's just not the light that you was looking for, right? It's the issue that took you out of, or the argument that broke you up and started pushing you towards what your actual purpose and calling was. It's actually you losing that job because you know you had been saying that you wanted to start the business, and you know that the Lord been trying to push you to do it, and you've been BSing around. So now he said, okay, mom, go ahead and take the job so that you can be serious about what it is that I have called you to do. It's being challenged at work and having to I don't know, do a big presentation, get up in front of whoever and talk, and you know that that's not your strong suit, but you are an amazing speaker. You know what I'm saying? It's those kinds of things, right? That can be the light at the end of the tunnel. It's just that, like, let's say you're looking for a beam that's going to be out like this, and you just starting right here. You know what I'm saying? That light at the end of the tunnel can look different, and it's not that you're at the light, but you can start seeing it sometimes just as you're going through that new season, that season of change, that season of um sometimes what feels like turmoil. All of that is getting you ready to step into that bright shining light that the Lord has for you, right? So you know what I'm saying? I say all that to say, y'all, don't be discouraged. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't be going through, because even in the midst of all of the good things that have been happening, I do find myself sad about things. I do find myself beating myself up about things, all of the things about how much better I could be at this, how much better this could be, all of the things, right? But we're gonna be all right. We are going to be all right no matter what, because the Lord already said so. He just waiting for us to trust him and to let go and just let him do what it is that he said that he was going to do. Y'all, believe it or not, that is it. Like I said, I won't be before you long. I pray that this touch somebody. Um, and I pray that you were able, I've said this before, but I pray that you were able today to just sit back and realize that no matter how hard it is or how hard it seems, you are walking in your answered prayers. It might not be the prayers that you have right now, because we always want more and more. A lot of times we don't take the time to just sit in where we are today, like where we came from and where we are today. We always thinking about the next thing. And like Pastor said, we're defining our success in crazy ways, whether it be based off of what somebody else thinks or unrealistic expectations on ourselves. But since you already successful, you've already made it in some way, and like I said, you are living in your answered prayers, even in the hard times, even in the struggle. Because again, there was a time when you didn't think you was gonna make it through no struggle, and you still making it, and all you're doing is becoming more and more resilient. All you're doing is pushing and pushing towards being a greater version of yourself. So like I said, y'all, I hear some clicking and clacking. That must be the air conditioner. Get ready to cut on. Y'all be blessed. Like I said, I'm keeping it short today. Hopefully I held everybody's attention. It's only been 18 minutes. You know your girl can go for 45 minutes to an hour. Um, I did end up doing that collaborative episode with Vincent of the Holy Forge podcast. We're just waiting on that to finally get edited completely, and then we will get that out. Again, that one will be audio only. Probably the next collab episode that we do, Lord willing, we will both be on camera, because you know your girl loves to see people expression. I love to see, like, when I'm listening to a podcast, I'm watching a podcast. I like to see the faces, I like to see the expressions, all the body language, all of the things. So more to come on that. But again, y'all, everybody be blessed. Have an amazing day, have an amazing night, and I will holler at y'all next time. All right, bye.